the country and western version of Hamlet. I've been living it my whole life. In fact, my Uncle Claudia's funeral was said. I watched you dump some depleted uranium, some white phosphorus in his ear. Oh, I watched you. I watched you. Colin Powell. Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction. I want you to think about this. Colin Powell. He was trusted. People liked him. He was arrogant. The UN. Now Biden's going to do the okey finoki. He's taken his best soldier, the greatest criminal who ever walked, with him. Marie Antoinette Obama, who knew that my greatest attribute was killing. Well, he really said it in 2012. Was he talking about Fukushima? Or was he talking about droning people to death? I have a shirt here. I don't know if I should put it up. It just a quote. Who knew that I was? What short memories the peace movement has. Where's Code Pink now? If she's a Greek goddess, what the fuck am I? Son of Cassandra. For Hamlet and Cassandra, they got together. They had a baby. Money! It's a hit. It's a death trap. It's a suicide rap. Comfortability is not the zenith of life. Billionaire baseball players. Peasantry. Pay the dragon slayer. Ride through town. Get somebody to fake it. You know, in the old neo-feudalism, how did they do it? One by Jetstream, two by cable TV. In the old feudalism days, they'd find one really arrogant, type A aggressive climber. You know what they are. The military's chock full of them. That are not that smart. They have an average intelligence level. We call that ignorance. You mix it in with some arrogance, oh boy, you got freaking bully America. They would go in there and they would find, you're the guy. You're the man. Go out into the woods for a couple days. Come back and here's the story you tell. There's a dragon, fire-breathing dragon out there. Cut yourself up, scar yourself up a little bit, get a little blood, you know, be a good actor. Be a good actor. That's what the military's plumb full of. Bush said it best. What are you talking about? We never drafted anyone. They all volunteered. You ever read East of Eden? You ever read it? You should. All you people that don't know anything, classic literature will tell you everything. Modern literature is a joke. Anybody that's reading modern literature the last 30 years, Malcolm Gladwell was proven that he was propped up by big tobacco. You know, we worship these people, they're all propped up. It's neo-feudalism. So he would go out into the woods, come back. Then the king's soldiers would ride through freaking town with pay up. We've got to take care of the dragon slayer. What do you have? Well, I got a couple cows, a few sheep. I have a daughter. Whoa, Epstein will take her with Bill Gates. Disgusting. Okay. Hand over life, limb, and property, which Americana did. Pay the boogeyman. Pay the dragon slayer! What a short memory, this country. Where's the Peace Act movement? Everybody's so caught up in COVID, not for the right reasons. Now, kids, I want to tell a little rhyme here. We're going to have a Lamberth. Not a fairy tale. This is not a fairy tale. This is the real version, the Lamberth version of Little Red Riding. My dad used to always say, you know, your mom wanted to name you two twins because I have a twin sister, us mutated Hansel and Gretel. Mariner Eccles himself used to call me us Hansel and Gretel. He used to laugh. My grandpa, the philanthropist, was a Mormon socialist. Oh, real one. Not the fake ones. Not a millionaire socialist. Not a billionaire. He gave it away. I love it. We have millionaire, billionaire socialists to the left. We have indentured slaves, free market capitalism, cashing your check. If you cash the stimulus check, hi socialist. Anybody who cashed a stimulus check is, by definition, I don't do opinion, a socialist. I didn't see anybody. I didn't see all these YouTube vloggers, these political dogma freak shows. I didn't see any of them burn their check online. If you cashed I never got a stimulus check. Cancer victims don't get anything. We get abused. I'm not taking 1 penny from these freaks. Not even after they murdered my father. My mom never got a medal. Never got shit. Never got a dime. That's what they do. Oh, curse and spite that I was ever born to set this right. Pay the Dragon Slayer! How soon you forget. Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction. That was the nail. That nailed the deal. That sealed the deal. The nail in the corner of the coffin. Oh, yeah. What is the odds? Now, I want you to talk about this. Now, I'm head of the support groups. I was. Because guess what I have? I have the exact disease that... Here's Kevin Blanch, the peace activist, that fought Colin Powell harder than anyone. That fought Donald Rumsfeld harder than anyone. Dick Cheney? Whoa. All of them, I fought them tooth and nail. I have multiple myeloma. Given 2 months to live. Oh, I have some multiple myeloma for you, Dick Cheney. For you, Donald Rumsfeld. For you, George W. Bush. For you, Wolf Fritz. For you, Bremer. For you, Colin Powell. Saddam Hussein did not have weapons of mass destruction. And I have some for me. You must wear yours a difference. Let's tell a real Lambeth. Kids, there was these big nuclear reactors. They had a disaster. And they went into this fusion event that creates all kinds of mutations. Created the Hulk. Created Spider-Man. But this is real. They poured into the Pacific Ocean. China fishing boat was out fishing in the Pacific Ocean off the coast of Japan. Caught a fish. The fish had come in contact with these nuclear fission suns. The fish got mutated. The fish's whole DNA structure was full of multiple myeloma. The fishermen took it back to the Wuhan wet market to sell it, like they have for thousands of years. Horseshoe bat, who has the highest immune system in the world besides the horseshoe crab. The blue bloods, which is the medicine that they use to treat almost every disease you've ever had. Yet we don't even protect them in the Chesapeake. Rachel Carson on Balco. Kevin Blanch on chemo. Bat swoops into market. Sits there for a while. Eats some of that mutated fructonium fish. Bat flies away. China's starving to death guy who's hungry shoots bat. He eats bat. Jumps from bat to human. That's what they told us. That's what they told us the hypothesis was. What, the Wuhan labs right there? Well, maybe they caught some other fish, and maybe they knew, and maybe they were experimenting. We know this is true, and I'll tell you how we know this is true. Do you know about livermorium? Bringing star power. Kamala Harris knows about livermorium. Kamala Harris's mother was the epidemiologist at Livermore, California. Guess what their logo is, kids? The nuclear lab in Northern California, which Kevin Blanch has protested there, including with Kamala Harris's mom, who died of cancer, young. Bringing star power to Earth. The sun can give you cancer from 93 million miles away. We have at least 3 of them into the Pacific Ocean. Oh, there's no byproduct. Oh, okay, where is it? Albert. I'm so sorry, Uncle Albert. But we hadn't had a thing to eat all day. I'm so sorry, Uncle Albert. 3-ring freaking cover up to protect the nuclear energy. If you haven't learned that the Nuclear Energy Crime Syndicate owns this country, the United States, Fukushima hasn't proved that. So Biden and his twin, Obama, they're triplets. I mean, Trump is Biden. Biden, Trump, 2024. Biden, Trump, Trump, Biden, 20. They're identical. There's no difference. The Japanese puppets, the nuclear energy freaking puppets that just do whatever they say. If this hasn't proven to you, Livermorium came after Fukushima, after 2011. How about Tennessee? Oak Ridge, Tennessee, NPR. Now Megan Rice has died. The activist who was anti-nuclear weaponry, who broke into Y-12, who did 2 years in jail, has passed away. 2 years in jail. She did 3 years before she did 2 years in jail because they held her before the trial as a terrorist. Mary Antoinette Obama put an 85-year-old nun, peace activist, who just cut with bolt cutters to show, look at this, they're liars, they don't guard this. Fort Knox of the plutonium world. I was really close friends with Megan. Go ask her nieces. Why don't you do an interview with them, New York Times? They'll tell you the truth. It was Megan's niece who told me, Kevin, to my face, she's not doing well. She's telling everybody she's doing well. I was lined up to do an interview in the Brooklyn. I'm the one, it was a whistleblower that exposed that she was in the Brooklyn holding facility, awaiting trial and sentencing. I went over there. I was scheduled. They wouldn't let me in. Why? Yeah, good question. The only person that got in was her niece. I talked to her niece. You know, she says, Kevin, she's not doing good. She's putting on a strong face. She's on death's doorstep in that prison cell. Barack Obama turned down the heat to 50 degrees. I will quote Megan Rice in the trial, in the sentence. I'm sitting right next to her, right next to Evelyn Tucker. Go talk to Evelyn Tucker. The first person she hugged when she come out of her incredible, beautiful testimony. You call her disingenuous, Timothy? She's the most genuine person I've ever known. Dorothy Day on Balco, on chemo, NPR. Oh, and she died. She did 2 years. Why are they covering for the nuclear energy crime? Left, right, left, right, left, right. Oh, curse is spite that I was ever born to set this right. Think about it. Mary Antoinette, who killed Aaron Swartz. What? For downloading the server at MIT Media Lab, you get 35 years from that? Murderers don't get 35 years. Multiple serial millers don't get 35. He did. Dead. Educate yourself. Stand up to the Nuclear Energy Crime Center. Caravan and Karen Silkwood on Balco. Oh, cursed spite that I was ever born to set this right. Media, I want to say this to everybody's covered up for the nuclear, including NPR, including CBS, ABC, Anderson, Vanderbilt, Cooper, Sanjay Gupta, MD, who were in Fukushima, Japan. Meltdown, nuclear meltdown. Should we come home? Nuclear meltdown, MIT, Jim Walsh. No, it's a hydrogen blast. Arnie Gundershall. Chris Busby says it'll dilute. Helen Caldicott in New York City at the Medical Academy to save my life while I'm fighting full of AML leukemia. Kevin, you can't say the F word. No, Fukushima. Her symposium is sitting next to Noam Chomsky. Send it to Dr. Perry, Kevin Blanch. No. We're not talking, what? This is the symposium that nuclear could probably end the earth. I'm a butcher, what's a cow? I'm a baker, what's a cake? I'm a fisherman, what's a boat? I'm an environmentalist, I'm an NGO. I'm an anti-nuclear, what's Fukushima? Oh, cursed spite that I was ever born. I watched you dump some plutonium into my father's ear. They staged the troops at the Polygon. What's that? I'm screaming and yelling. They were spitting on me. The peace actors. Vietnam on chemo. Vietnam on Balco. Afghanistan. Went off to Afghanistan to kill the Taliban. Went off to Iraq to get a big old sack for Dick Cheney, Colin Powell, and friend. Billions of dollars missing. Trillions. Went off to Vietnam to kill my uncle who just died, the high brass at the Pentagon, who's the most decorated pilot maybe in the history of this country. I don't think they get more decorated than that guy. His kids never knew him. I did. Kevin, all these years. This is 2 years ago. He's 84 years old. You were right the whole time. We were fighting on the wrong side. My uncle stood on Omaha Beach on D-Day. Kevin, these same imperialists, they're just going to lay in the weeds and they're going to get the power back. The guy that was at the Hitler bunker. I asked him one day, do you think that Hitler and his girlfriend, you were there at the bunker right after the Russians were there. Do you think he was dead in there? Oh, hell no. He ain't that stupid. He lived his life in Argentina. That's the Omaha Beach. Look him up. Harold Blanch, who raised me. Claude Blanch, who raised me. Dwayne, nuked to death. Drafted Special Forces and Marine. Claude, CIA as they get, my uncle. They don't get more CIA. Freaking. Oh, he turned on him. He turned on him. This is very real, hardcore stuff. They staged the troops at the Polygon. What's that? That's the old Russian site where they dumped all their nuclear waste and tested bombs clear till 1968, Tsar Bomba on Balko. They staged the troops there. It just proves it's more globalist. You call it Illuminati. They don't illuminate. They radiate. Why would you stage the troops there? They're all coming home with AML leukemia, multiple myeloma. Oh boy. When they come to the Hollywood Marines at Pendleton, where I was literally born, and you see the San Onofre kid. That's right there. Why would they stage him in the old Russian site? Most radioactive place on the earth besides the Pacific Ocean now. It's safer to live in Tokyo than it is in California, Utah, Oregon, Wyoming, the United States. Just same moves left to right. Fish swim. Breaking news. Fish swim. California current. Dead tidables at your feet. It's a coincidence. Sama collapse. It's a coincidence. His words. You're going to let this genie out of the bottle. And it's going to mutate everything on earth. Every living thing. Well, what about the animals? People are animals. Will they adapt? Yeah, in 50 generations. Cancer off the hook. It's all coincidence. Oh, the wells are fine. The tide pools are fine. NPR says so. They talk like this. Then you got Psycho Boy on the right. The radical right freak show. Buy a bunker, get a pill, until Trump becomes president. And we don't even mention Fukushima. I have some. Let's get this right. I watched you dump plutonium, depleted uranium. White phosphorus comes from a nuclear reactor. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? The egg. You have to have nuclear energy to have a nuclear bomb. I used to fight with Megan Rice about this. Me and Megan Rice had many arguments. I will quote the lead of Plowshares, Sister Snow, in Philadelphia. At the potluck in Knoxville, Tennessee. Oh, I'm there. You know, you guys saying that you're okay with the technology and not the thing is bullshit. Boy, did you set us right, Kevin. I think you were sent by God. The country and western version of Hamlet. I used to tell my grandma that when I was a kid. She says, I think I'm living in, this reminds me out here in West Weber of the south of France. You've never been there. Maybe not in this life. Albert Einstein, I proved that he was a peace activist. He was a Quaker. He was anti-nuclear, big time. Hell of a way to boil water. Hell of a way to boil a planet. I have some AML leukemia, multiple myeloma. That's what AML leukemia is. That's what the M stands for. Acute. The average lifespan with AML leukemia is less than 6 months. I have some for you, Colin Powell. I have some for you, Donald Rumsfeld. I have some for you, Wolfowitz. I have some for you, Bremer. I have some for all of you grandstanders. You war beaters who are all draft dodgers. Have you some for every freaking draft dodger there ever was that went along with this war? CBS fires Dan Rather, the greatest reporter of a time that went into Vietnam and broke the back of the oligarchs, him and Walter Cronkite. They fired him for calling George W. Bush a draft dodger when George W. Bush was a draft dodger. Don't tell the fucking truth. Don't tell the truth. Fucking, let's turn it into a fairy tale. No, this is a labyrinth. I was given 2 months to live 10 years ago. You have no clue how hardcore and brutal this fight is. You have no clue. First person in the history of the fucking United States, my daughter says maybe the world, from Denmark, who's made it 10 years without a bone marrow transplant willingly, with multiple myeloma, acute AML, the marker this high, without a transplant. Split me open. The experimental chemo, it ate up my aortic valve. I have a fake aortic valve in there. Where's your necklace? I wear my card around me. That's my medical alert bracelet. I wear it around my neck. Literally. I have some multiple myeloma AML leukemia for you, Colin Powell. I have some for Donald Rumsfeld. I have some for George W. Bush. I have some for Operation Foxconn News, the insanity of John Hannity. And I have some for me. But you must wear yours with a difference. We've all got the cancer now. You gave the Pacific Ocean, our mother, cancer. Fukushima, 9/11 to 3/11, the calendar opposite. The military industrialized war pigs. They gather like freaking witches at black mass as the crazy train's off the fucking rails and everyone sells out and stands down. Well, you'll get your turn. When the doctor looks you right in the eyes and says, you've got 2 months to live, which they did 10 years ago on a Friday evening. You'll be dead. Get your affairs in order. Next doctor tells you 6 weeks. You watch him load the love of your life, the 2 loves of your life, Annika, into the body bag. You watch him load your father into the body bag, a guy who never had a cavity in his life, a guy who never had a cold in his life, dies in the prime of his life of multiple myeloma, acute belastic leukemia. You think you can just jump over this? You're going to jump over that Colin Powell and Donald Rumsfeld died of the exact same disease, which we know multiple myeloma only comes from 2 places. Radio Roundup sprayers, oh yeah. Radioactive nuclear fallout caused by a freaking nuclear reactor. Where's the next accident going to happen? In Ohio. You build them out. After they cock brides and you still, I won't fuck your other sister, I promise. The country and western version of Hamlet. The American fools. Gorbachev said that the Soviet Union went and Putin was able to loot the country and turn it back into imperialism. The invasion of Afghanistan and Chernobyl. What took down America? The invasion of Afghanistan. Went up to Afghanistan to kill the Taliban. I thought we went to get bin Laden. He's been dead since 2011. Fukushima shiny ballism. Go have a cup of coffee with Gaddafi, which I did in Idaho National Lab. Went up to Iraq to get Dick Cheney, big old $1 trillion missing. Saddam Hussein had 1 in 10 $100 bills of the United States had ever printed. Truckloads trucked out missing. All your money. Money! It's a hit! Hey, you out there on the road, always doing what you're told. Can you help me? I was not born with these scars across my face. I am a peace activist. That's brass knuckles. I used to wear my dad's Marine Special Forces dog tags around my neck. He attacked me, insulted me, because I freaking was trying to protect the freaking soldiers, the troops, the hierarchy from going into the polygon in Afghanistan and letting them spray white phosphorus over your man. Bo Biden, Bo Biden, Bo Biden, Bo Biden. No respect. Barry Antoinette's mom, a downwinder, died young. Kamala Harris's mom, young, who protested against the nuclear machine. Where is she? Where is she? Stand up to the Nuclear Energy Crime Syndicate. No respect. Oh, I have respect for my father. They don't. They're the ones that are violent. They're freaking violence. Your silence. Where's the peace movement now? They're all dying of leukemia. As I said for years, the Fukushima disaster, we have no hope. We have no hope. We have apathy. We have freaking American freaking sheep. American wake. America's on its knees right now. Where do you think COVID came from? The sea. We can't talk about that. The United States, the great experiment, is on its knees. It's on its knees. TikTok, Diablo Canyon, you bail them out. It's only a matter of time now. Fukushima. Again, I have some multiple myeloma, AML leukemia for Colin Powell, for Donald Rumsfeld, for George W. Bush, for Wolfowitz, for Bremer, for all the Fox News drummer, for KSL from hell, from Doug Wright, to the hierarchy of the Mormon Church, to the hierarchy of every evangelical preacher. Joel Osteen died so I could be rich. The war beaters, the opposite of any Jesus Christ teachings. Thou shalt not kill! Thou shalt not kill! Thou shalt not kill! Forgive them, for they know not what they do. Not me. I'm not Jesus, that great radical. Oh, he was not a pacifist. He was a radical with the whip. The military industrialized war pigs completely out of fucking control. I have some for me. But you must wear yours with a difference. Oh, cursed spite, that I was ever born to set this right, which I was, the elasticity of time. It's that important. Born again, Kevin Blanch.